What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 613 Sports YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed our last video, the outdoor sports challenge we did there.
Oh! Where are you? There. Who do you think he is?
That boy dead. Pretty entertaining stuff. If you haven't checked it out already, go check that out right now. But today we've got a little more formal video to show our diversity, show how we can not only goof around, but we can get serious when we need to too. So the NHL, as everybody kind of knows, is struggling a little bit with revenue with the coronavirus, kind of forcing nobody into the stands for their playoffs and all that sort of stuff. And it was kind of been thrown around that, maybe the NHL would accept another expansion team, get $600 million more thrown into the league and get teams all the money that they're kind of missing out on from playoffs and no fans at games and stuff like that. So we thought, why not hypothesize about a different team that could come to the NHL, an expansion? We're getting the Kraken next year. We got Vegas a couple of years ago. But we're not going to be basic. We're not going Quebec. We're not going Houston. All the ones you hear about, already talked about all the time for the last 20 years, whatever. No, Eddie, where are we going?
We're going to Halifax, baby.
So, you might be thinking, why Halifax? That doesn't make sense. It's a bit of a smaller city. It's kind of far out. They already have a lot of teams in Canada. But you know what? There's actually a lot of good reasons to why Halifax makes sense. And there's just a whole lot of history with hockey and all that sort of stuff that goes on in Halifax that doesn't get talked about enough. And not just Halifax itself, but Nova Scotia as a whole and Atlantic Canada.
Yeah, let's just start off slow and simple. The population of Halifax is around 430,000. Nova Scotia is 980,000, and the three provinces of New Brunswick, PEI, and Nova Scotia is just 1.9 million. So this would be the smallest franchise in the NHL for sure. But don't worry, it is very sustainable because, as we mentioned, it's a 5-hour drive to drive from across Nova Scotia. From Charlottetown, the capital PEI, to Halifax, it's like a 2-hour drive. From Moncton to Halifax, 3-hour drive. This drive, it takes 6 hours to go from Ottawa to Toronto. And when there's a game in Ottawa versus Toronto, look how many Toronto fans show up. So it's a very doable thing to do. A lot of people will come. But at the same time, like we said, it is a small population. It's going to be hard to do it, but we believe we can do it by not only marketing to Halifax. This isn't the Halifax team. This is going to be Atlantic Canada's team. The same way that we market Toronto as we the North Canada's team, this is going to be Atlantic Canada's team, and with this kind of marketing, we believe it will be a sustainable NHL franchise.
And don't worry, Newfoundland, Labrador, we didn't forget about you. You guys can still come to the games too if you want to, but we left them out of that population and all that just because it's a little bit of a further drive. It wouldn't be that feasible to go there on a regular basis like you might see for people from like Montreal going to Ottawa, that kind of thing. That's why we stick with the closer provinces only. But Newfoundland and Labrador does factor into that as well. So we don't get too many comments saying that's so far, I would never drive that far, that kind of thing. We left them out of it, but they are very possible to drive to there. And we also want to talk a little bit about history, just like hockey and the Maritimes, that kind of stuff as well. Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, ever heard of them, Eddie?
Who?
Pretty sure they're pretty good players. Pretty sure they're both from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Pretty sure they're two of the best players in the game right now. And Halifax has supported the Mooseheads and plenty of other QMJHL teams for many, many years now. And you know what? It's time to give them that NHL franchise they've been dying for. Let's give them something to get excited about.
Yeah, and also Halifax, this isn't going to be the first team in the Canadian Premier League. They got a team 2 years ago, Halifax Wanderers, and the CFL, the Canadian Football League, is planning to expand to Halifax. So they're going to have already practice doing this. So we don't have a set date for when this team will be expanded into the NHL, but they're going to have practice doing it. They're going to know what to do. But now for the team name.
Well, first of all, just quickly on top of that, and that's why we said it's going to be Atlantic Canada's team, because listen, for a population of what, around 400,000 we said it was?
Yeah.
That's a lot of teams to support for that one city itself. It's not that big. That would be like a much smaller version of Ottawa, just trying to support all the teams. Like, basically take all the teams Ottawa has and put it in Gatineau, basically, and that would be the whole team kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not exactly the scale, but that's why we're saying we'd have to market it to all of Atlantic Canada, because obviously a small city like Halifax can't support 3 pro teams like that as well as a major junior team. So that's where we get into the Atlantic Canada region itself as a whole. But like Eddie said, what's that team name going to be?
So after a little bit of discussion of what can we call it, can it be the Highlanders, could it be some fish name, we decided we're going to name it the Halifax Hammerheads. And before any of you guys start saying, there's no Hammerheads in Atlantic Ocean, I want you guys to show me where the hell a Kraken is in Seattle.
Splash, drip, drip, whoop, splash.
All right, so there we go. We're naming it the Halifax Hammerheads. Any other reason?
Yeah, so we went with the Hammerheads just because, you know, we like that alliteration. It rolls off the tongue nice and easy. Can also make it a pretty cool logo. I mean, it's a shark. Who doesn't want to rock a shark on their jersey? Like, I'm scared of sharks. Oh, that's a fucking wasp. Yo, bro, I'm trying to record a video. Please leave me alone, sir. I know most of you are probably scared of sharks too. So listen, it's an intimidating name. It's a cool name. We can get pretty creative with the logos, kind of go maybe like a Mississauga Steelheads type thing if we wanted to. We can go with some like New York Islanders type beat with the fishermen they had going on there. We can kind of go with whatever. It kind of leaves it open to possibilities, just incorporating the hammerhead into the logo. And we just thought it looks cool, and that's gonna get into our next point of why we chose Halifax and why we want to go with a team that has cool logos, cool jerseys. We decided that it would make the most sense for Halifax to kind of follow the Vegas Golden Knights model of making games into like a big social outing, kind of like a party type thing. Obviously, Corona has shut down all those parties since March, but when Corona's finally gone, these games are going to be an event you want to be at, and people are going to want to go to and have a fun time. Halifax, like we said, it's a small city, originally just its population, but every year Halifax does have about 23,000 university students come to Nova Scotia as a whole for some of the top universities in Canada. And based on an article from Maclean's, 3 of the top 10 party schools in all of Canada are actually in Nova Scotia, and like Eddie said, it's only about 5 hours to drive from one end of Nova Scotia to the other, so that's very doable for most of these university students. And like we said, they're gonna want to party. It's a party city, not party city, party province. I wish we lived in a party province. And it's just something like that they're gonna want to come to these games. They're gonna want to go to these social outings. They're gonna want to go have fun with their friends, and it's gonna be something where you can go to. You can go watch some elite NHL players like Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby when they come visit. And you know what? Even if the team's not good, that's why we're gonna do like Vegas did and just have all these different kind of shows, all these different kind of events, and just make these games a big thing everybody wants to be at.
There's one thing university students love to do, other than complaining with schoolwork, is to drink. And there's one thing that Halifax and Nova Scotia and the Maritime people like to do is drink. You put those two together, you're having a blessed time. Who cares your team gets blown out 6-0 because you're having a great time? That is one thing Ottawa is lacking to do here. And if Halifax can follow the Vegas of having a small but very fun atmosphere, it's very doable. And talking about small atmosphere, obviously because Halifax doesn't have a big population, they're gonna have a small arena. The smallest arena currently is only around 15,000 capacity. I think that's in Winnipeg. The only arena in Halifax, well, the
only big professional kind of arena they have right now
for the Mooseheads is the Scotiabank
Center.
Yes.
It holds about 11,000 people, and obviously that is pretty small for an NHL arena. But for a team that's just getting started off, we don't want to have to go invest like $1 billion to go build a big new arena. That could end up, we don't know what's going to happen with it. Like you have the Nordiques that have a big arena sitting there doing nothing. So it would make the most sense financially for the team to just use the Mooseheads arena for right now. And if the team is doing well and needs to expand, that can always be done in the future. But for right now, it makes sense to use that 11,000 capacity arena in the Scotiabank Center. We could maybe add some more standing room like that kind of thing. And what we can do from there is, since our goal is to make it a hot ticket event, it's like you want to go to that, 11,000 capacity could actually help the team quite a bit, because like you see in Winnipeg, the games are almost always sold out. The atmosphere is always crazy in there. This building is so small that with the capacity they have in there, the sound just echoes throughout the whole thing. You can't hear anything in there. It's a terrible place for opposing teams to play. They hate playing in Winnipeg because it's so loud in there. So imagine you're going to a game, 11,000 just drunk, rowdy people having crazy times in there, just having a good time, making the noise all the way through the roof. And plus, only 11,000 tickets, 400,000 people in Halifax. Not everyone's gonna be able to go to these games. Demand's gonna be high, supply's gonna be low, which means we can charge a higher price if we need to for those tickets, and just
simple economics. You have low supply, high demand, you can rake up the prices and people will still pay for it. And obviously 11,000, you can always add 4,000 more seats, get 15,000 easily. It's just all about, do you have the people coming? And we strongly believe there is a want for a team. Atlantic Canada, Halifax is the center really of Atlantic Canada. It's been a huge historic place through the years in Canada history. People want to come over, and because of this Vegas style of marketing, during those weekday games like Thursday, Tuesday, I do believe people will want to come to watch Halifax, an NHL team. As well though, don't worry, the Mooseheads will still be there. I mean, it's the Mooseheads. The same way Ottawa has the 67s and other teams might have 2 different kinds. It's still going to work.
The more we see it in the AHL too, Toronto has the Marlies. They have at least obviously a much bigger city, but they support them both as well. So it wouldn't be unheard of to see 2 professional and major junior hockey teams be in the same city as one another.
But enough, I think we covered everything. Now I think it's just time to introduce the Halifax Hammerheads. Here's the logo. And hear the jerseys coming up.
Swagger, swag. Swagger, swag.
But that's going to be it for this video, everybody. Let us know down in the comments. Did we convince you? Should the NHL bring a team to Halifax? Would you go to the game if, let's say, you go to Dalhousie, St. FX, all those kind of different universities out there? Would you go to one of these games? What other cities would you want to see the NHL expand to? Would you want to see us do another video about this? Maybe for the NFL, MLB, NBA, any different sport you want. Let us know what city, what sport, and we will drop another video like this if you guys want to. Don't forget to go check out our last video, and if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. We're dropping great content every week. I know you guys aren't going to want to miss any videos. We got lots of bangers coming all winter long. We're recording every day. The grind doesn't stop out here, so make sure you go like a comment, go drop a comment and subscribe right now, and get in on the ground floor.
Road to 100 subscribers. Can we hit it? Please. Please, please, please. Also, we have a website. We are a sports blog as well. 613sportsblog.com. Obviously, just not much sports to write about, but we'll figure something out. But, like you said, like, subscribe, and until next week, knuckleheads, stay out of the damn box. Peace.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Ice on me, man. I got diamonds, but they say that